Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Welcome to another map tour. This is going to be something completely different than what you've ever seen before. What's this? We're falling into the map? Why is it so red? Well, friends, this isn't Earth. This is Mars. Yep. There was a Mars map released recently, and this is it. So, if you want something that's totally out of this world for your farming simulator, you just might have found it. So, let's jump into how this is described. And I don't think a lot of these things are enforced. I think it's just implied that you'd be doing some role play, understanding that you're on another planet. But here is what the author, FarmerBob, has to say about it. Welcome to Mars. The first colony is on its way to Mars. You, as a farmer, must provide food for their survival. The Mars base is set in one of the huge craters on Mars. You need to terraform the area and plant around 8,000 trees to help oxygen supply. Finances are short, so work carefully. The map has 15 fields, one sell point to export your goods to Earth, and a whole lot of exciting stuff, like no other map. Custom animal domes, awesome Martian scenery. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a farm on Mars? Well, this is not close, but the closest FS22 will get. Hehehe. We start off by descending into the Martian atmosphere down to the surface. Waiting there inside the Schiaparelli crater is a pre-built base by SpaceX. Armed with $100,000 to get things ready for the colonists, set up the farming side of things and have enough food ready to feed everybody and sustain life there on the red planet. Furthermore, your goal would be to plant as much fauna and flora as possible to make Mars as close to Earth as you can. You now have the opportunity to sell goods back to Earth, and the product you keep in your silos stay on the farm for the colony. So good luck, and farm like crazy. Or you can just play the game normally for fun. And then FarmerBob gives us basically a ton of goals to complete your mission. So the first goal, plant between 8,000 to 10,000 new trees. Place at least 11 beehives between the fields. Have a yearly supply of the following animals. A supply of animals means above and beyond your capacity. New animals being born. 60 cows, 60 chickens, 80 sheep, 60 pigs. Then meet the following quotas for food. 10,000 liters of tomatoes, lettuce, and strawberries. All cereals. I assume that means all cereal grains, so wheat, barley, so forth. 50,000 liters. Olives and grapes, 100,000. Oil produced from canola, sunflower, and olive, 10,000 liters each. 150,000 liters of potatoes and corn. 50,000 liters of cotton. 20,000 liters of eggs. 30,000 liters of milk. 30,000 liters of grape juice. And finally 10,000 liters of raisins. And build a clothing factory to supply clothes to the colony. So if you try to do all that, that should certainly keep you quite busy. But you can see here, we've got the rocket, as they said, from SpaceX that has landed. We've got a tractor here with some implements. We've got a rock picker. That's probably insanely necessary on Mars with the rocky soil. But yeah, there's a lot around, so let's take a look at the PDA. Alright, so here, as we said, we're in this crater. Everything's around the edges as far as the buildings, and then the center is being used for the farming. So as they talked about, there's 15 fields. To be understood on Mars, you know, they're just rectangular. They're very utilitarian. They're not trying to be cute here. They're not trying to make it look like Iowa. They're just trying to make the most efficient use of things. So they've gone ahead and divvied things up this way. You can see here we've got some greenhouses water tank, some electric charging stations, fertilizer tanks, some production for oil mill, grape processing units, spinnery, bakery. Within this dome, it looks like we've got the animal dealer, and then we've got these domes around the edge that give us the ability for cows, chickens, sheep, and pigs. No horses really needed, because what are you going to do with them in a dome, right? So over here you got your vehicle shop. Of course, we've got electric charging stations around the map. Sawmill is up here. So if you're doing any work with trees, I think this is that initial forest that they're talking about. This is the export point to Earth. So this is your main sell point. You've got a debris crusher, a lime station, a lime factory. And that's basically your setup. Amazingly, on Mars, the crop calendar is the same as on Earth. So your growing cycles are similar. So if you've been a farmer on Earth, which I'm assuming you would have been if they're sending you to Mars, they're not just sending someone who's never done this before, but you should be familiar with what's happening. Okay. As far as being able to sell things, you can see you're either going to the mills or just to Earth. You're not going to have all kinds of choices here, but you've got all your options. Have someplace. No, nothing for honey. So it's interesting because you're supposed to put up beehives, I guess, for crop production, but nothing to do with the honey. The order confused me there because it just gave me some other options. So if you want to send some stones to Earth, they'll even pay you for those. I guess Martian stones, why not, right? So starting equipment, you can see there's quite a bit here, which makes sense because you probably brought it all with you. So we've got 115 horsepower Fendt, several medium tractors, 235 JCB, and then a 220 Massey, 150, another 150, and a 170. So we've got 5 medium tractors. We've got one 10,000 liter harvester. We've got a cotton harvester. Got a skid steer loader. We've got the Mahindra retriever to run around the surface on. Got several trailers for different types of things. So 18.5 thousand. This one doesn't have a capacity that I can see, and 52,000 for the forage here. Or, well, actually it looks like it takes everything. You've got a 7.6 meter header. Corn header is a 6 meter header. Obviously that stone picker that we saw. You've got a plow that can't be hauled by most of your tractors, but it can with some. Similarly to the 5 meter cultivator, you've got a seeder, a planter, sprayer, one spreader, a manure spreader, once you have some animals that are doing that, slurry, here's your forage wagon. And obviously you need your forestry equipment to follow the rule to plant trees. And some tankers to get your animal supplies moved around, and then just skid steer tools and weights. So that gives us everything that comes with our farm. So yeah, so the challenge we're going to have is anything that we're going to pull is needing more than 180. So really these 2 tractors up here are really the only ones that are going to be useful. Alright, so I'm not going to go ahead and do a flying tour. You've seen that already. I'm going to go ahead and drive around and just take a look at what we've got and just get a little bit of a lay of the land here. So let's hop into the Mahindra and let's just get going. So we can see, obviously we've got some of the equipment sitting around. Terrain's certainly unique, given what we're seeing. Got some tanks over here. Not quite sure what those might be. Might just be decorative at this point. I'm not seeing anything on the map. So heading up between the fields, and you know, as you can see, pretty standard shape. We do have some terrain here, so I'm sure it would have cost a fortune to try to level the crater. Not really a reason to do that. Got some solar panels there to obviously provide us with the power we need. So that's excellent. So we've got these domes. I'm not quite sure, like, how do I interact with them? Guessing, well, let me go circle around and I'll see maybe if I can go in this way. So hop out here. All right, yeah, the door's opening, so that's good. All right, so we've got like another door, and I'll open that. I kind of realized it's probably supposed to be an airlock of some sort, and I probably just broken all kinds of protocols, but just a nice dome in here. We'll go ahead and close things to try to let the most of the air stay in. Hopefully I haven't messed anything up. And then there we go. We'll get that closed. So that's your shop and so forth there. So we head up this way. We've got the animal husbandry domes that we're headed toward. Let's see what the sign says. So this is Colony Food Storage Facility. Alright, so this is where we store our food. You can see our JCB and trailer is parked there. Looks like we've got 3 silo complexes, so definitely should be enough to keep things stored up pretty nicely. I'm not sure what this is here. Yeah, don't know. There's some point there. Oh, there's a sign there. So let me head over that way. That'll help. Alright, water reclamation plant. Alright, so this basically converts something to water. So we have that there. So let's head on over to these domes where we've got the animals. I guess we'll just pick one. They're going to be similar. We don't need to go in all of them. We'll go to this one. I think this is the sheep. So we'll do it correctly this time, because we don't want to create any kind of a problem. Can't do it from the vehicle, so I need to get out. Open up the door, pull on in. And I'll hop out, close the door behind us. So again, we kind of create the airlock, make sure the other door is down before I pick this one up. There we go. Alright. So I think that's how we're supposed to enter these facilities. And as you can see, it looks like all we've done is put some animal pens inside the dome so that the animals can do their thing inside and survive, because they can't wear spacesuits. But obviously we're not wearing one, although you know, obviously we are, so pretend we are. So otherwise that would be a pretty unpleasant situation here on the Martian surface. So we'll get things closed up again to keep them safe. Move forward. Nice built in the USA. Tag there, and we'll now open this up. Whoop, it's taking us up with it. Can't imagine that would be pleasant if we rode that all the way up to the ceiling, but maybe a little bit of a safety issue, but maybe they're... Well, hold on, let me close things. A little foolish of me there. Being sloppy, I can kind of do that on Earth. Hey, excited to get going, leave doors open, but on Mars I'm thinking that's a lot less optimal. Alright, so let's see what else we've got to see. The forest is up there. We've got trees for this location is what? Not quite sure. Looks like we've got some interaction points there. Oh, looks like we've got some production facilities. Our grain mill here. Yep. So that's what that is. And then looks like we can get our supplies from these here. So even though they say, you know, the tanks behind them say gas, if you remember from the PDA, these were fertilizer and other things that we need. And then this is what? Our command center. Looks like we've got a tractor and a trailer in there. Other than that, kind of do what you will with it. So we'll just have to get that out at some point. Alright, so let's head toward this direction. I don't know, that's the export to Earth over there. Not sure what we might have there, but let's see. So it looks like we've got a good start of trees, but if we're supposed to plant the 8,000 trees or whatever, I'm assuming these things aren't necessarily do one, then do the other. They kind of would be worked on together, because otherwise it would be pretty expensive. And you'd not be doing much if all you were doing was planting trees. So I'm sure we're supposed to kind of achieve those goals as a target, is what they've set. So yeah, that's right. This is, looks like lime, and then stone crusher over there. And then, oh, there's like a mine into the wall. Maybe that's where they're getting the lime out, and I think that might be grape processing unit. Not quite sure what this point is for. Again, you can worry about that, I guess, if we were using the map, but right now we're just doing a quick tour. So let's head on over to the other side. Now, it's a 1x map, standard size, so obviously you can get from one side to the other pretty quickly. Obviously we can see everything that is our world pretty simply. There's the SpaceX very clearly on the rocket there. Very nice. So looks like some more signs to help us understand what we've got. So this is wood. And then, like I said, I think this is the export to Earth facility. Yep, export to Earth. So do things there. Somehow they get in those tanks, and somehow they get to Earth. Just kind of take it for granted. And then the fuel processing plant. So this is where we can get gas, and then inside that dome is our animal dealer and so forth. And we've then kind of made our rounds all the way around the map at this point. So one thing I realized I haven't seen yet are the greenhouses. We have those somewhere here. Whoop, nice skid there. A little bit of fun on Mars with our ATV. So there's like the bakery. We've gone through tanks. Let's see, maybe they're inside these buildings? Not quite sure if that's the case. No, those are just empty storage buildings. Ah, there they are. Greenhouses. Okay. So somehow we had missed these, but they're tucked against the hill there. Looks like things didn't do very well. Maybe it's because these doors are open, but then again, we've got flaps on the roofs there, so probably not. So it looks like this is strawberries. And this one is lettuce. And this one is tomatoes, so they're kind of set up for that. I'm sure maybe we can adjust the settings for the greenhouses, but they're just built that way. So right now, yeah, so you can see they're just turned on for those fruits. But obviously we could change them if we wanted. Right, so I marked the harvester because I didn't know where it was. And looks like it's in this building. Looks like the doors are big enough we'll be able to get out. But I'm just going to test Courseplay. I don't really need to get out for that. Alright, so if I mark the field here, you can see it does okay with that. Just mark some others, make sure we can work. A little bit of trouble there, but no, okay, I just must have hit something wrong. Alright, so let's try to set things up to generate the course. Set a couple headlands. Generate. And there you go. So you can see a course like we'd expect generated. So Courseplay works if you want to use it on this map. So yeah, I think that's about it. Would I use this map? For me, there's not really a draw to it. I mean, while the setting is interesting and so forth, it's still Farming Simulator 22. I did look, there's no specific buildings, so like the domes and things, you can't suddenly place. You have what you have. With regards to changing what you have, I did also check you cannot sell any of the buildings that are there, which would make sense. I mean, why would you get rid of things that are here for your survival? So you kind of get what you get. You know, maybe if you're doing a role play or something like that, there might be something you could do with this. But even with that, you'd have to suspend a ton of disbelief. I mean, things are getting back to Earth somehow. You know, we've got this transport mechanism. Just a lot. So, you know, just presenting this for you here. Not my cup of tea, but maybe something you're interested in. Hope you've enjoyed the tour, and I'll see you next time.